So if you notice, it's going to be a little hard to see because we're currently just on one axis point, but you can kind of tell there's this motion. If I can get this in here just right, there's this motion going back and forth, back and forth. So let's go ahead and take this same type of pattern here, and we want to apply that same kind of look, similar to the Z. So inside of here, I'm just going to go in and do on my little drop down. Let's see, we'll do a actually, you know what? Instead of doing, well, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll say new. Alright, so we have a new preset inside of here. We'll go to our Z, and then we'll choose from our library of presets, and we'll click on it. So we'll get a similar pattern happening with the Z on that. And then on the Y, let's go for the Y. The Y is going to take us, instead of being a point here, let's make sure that our Z was actually on 10. Looks like it might not have been. Let's double check. I'm going to turn all these off. We'll just make sure that each one's set to the right height. Okay. So on Z, let's make sure we put this one to 10. There we go. Now we're starting to get up into the air. And you see the little circular shapes happening right there. Alright, so then on the Y on this one, this is actually we want to go a little bit higher. We want the Y to actually go upwards, so let's go ahead and set the max on this one to 10. And then, there we go. On the value for it right here, notice I can just take this one all the way up. I'm going to add a point at the end, and then we'll make this one actually just kind of go at a straight angle to it. So we'll go down on this one, and then go for about right there. Let's see. Alright, so we have that one, and then let's take this one and we'll try to take it a little bit straighter. There we go. So now, having the zigzag pattern for the X and the Z, and then the Y, bringing it up like that, we all of a sudden start to have that shape of almost like a tornado type effect, if you want, that could be actually occurring with it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll finish off on this part of it here, and then let's go ahead and move into the rest of the shapes for it. The force over lifetime, let's go ahead and go into this one, and for the force we just want to add a couple of variables. We're not really caring about too much about the variance to it. We just want to feel like there's a little bit of a wind blowing off to the side of it, and this one's going to be based on the local side of it. So here we go. That might be a little bit too much. We'll do like a, let's see what a 1 looks like. So probably about a 1.5. There we go. So a little bit of a blowing off to the side there. And then a little bit upwards on it. Alright, so now we have our visually, we have it blowing over to the side. We're going to do the color over lifetime. And then color over lifetime, we want to do similar to like we've done before. We're just going to set the two top alphas to 0. And then we'll set the right corner one to 0. Let's place in right around here. We just want a quick fade in and then a long fade out. So the alpha on this one, remember to make the top bar points. You just left click on the bar, it'll create the point for you. So now we have one going from here all the way through, and then also let's add a color down here. Actually, let's delete this one. We'll just push delete on the selection. We'll do from this point all the way over. I think that'll actually work out better. We'll do a single point here, and then just kind of round it out with that brownish tint like we've been using. There we go. So a little bit of a brown tint. You could go even a little bit grayer if you wanted. Let's see how the gray type would look. There we go. So if you notice what I'm kind of getting in there, trying to get in a little bit of that mix so it feels like there's two different types of dirts. Kind coming out from it, so it's not just a solid color happening. So let me go back to the color here. So I've got my color, I've got this one, it's 28, 27, 25. Alright. And then again on the alpha on this one, we've got it set for, I can just do a solid number, we'll say 8 on the location. Alright, so that gives us our color over lifetime. Then we're going to do our size over lifetime. The size over lifetime, we just want to make, again, we want to kind of set it up for a graph type. When you click on it, the size that we're looking for is to just go small, and then we'll kind of taper it off to a bigger spot at the top. I'm going to take my size to about a 6 on here to start with. There we go. So notice the difference the moment you change size, and that's something to always keep in mind, is that what you usually see, it may look like really thin, but that's to get the pattern, the direction down, and then you want to start increasing it so that you can see the rest of it. But if you can try to work through it in stages, you'll probably find yourself a little bit more happy with your process as you go through it. Alright, so let's make sure that the ending, we're going to have it where it just, once it gets to the top, it just kind of gets up and out through there like that. Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit smaller just to check to see if I can get away with it or not. Yeah. I think we'll be pretty close to that. Okay. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm just taking, so for my size over lifetime, I've got it at about a little bit below 1.5 with a small bit of curve, going to the top of 6 with a little bit of a round, flat curve. I think the handle goes just a little above straight. Alright, so if you get this one, then the last thing we want to do on the options is going to be rotate by speed. Let's see, or rotate by over lifetime. We'll do rotate over lifetime. That way we can get the particles constantly rotating as they go through it. And for that one, I'm going to go ahead and do the random between 2 curves. Actually, you could even do, how about we just do random between 2 constants, and we'll do 0 to, or we'll do, how about we do it a different way. We'll do negative 180 to a positive 180. And there we go. And now we should have these constantly rotating all the way through right there. Alright. So with that one, that gives us our rotation over lifetime. We have our rendering set up, oldest first. And this is going to be the, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. This is going to be the first part of our little whirlwind funnel type system. And then we're going to be adding a few more elements to it. That way we can continue to grow it and add some detail, have little particle pieces floating and flying with it, have some dust at the bottom and everything. Alright.